Ready.
So hi Jeff, my name is Jason Brimberg and I'm looking for a PM role at JP Morgan. So I know I can do this job. I've done similar jobs successfully, and I know you will enjoy working with me. So I just want to let you in on what I've done and what I've done in my background. I'm going to explain the value add that's derived and talk a little bit about what I want to do next and how that might fit in with the needs that you have on your team. What I want to do is I want to cover three different areas that have been really instrumental within my career. So first, the current work that I'm doing at JP Morgan. Secondly, the work that I've done and the value that I've delivered at Sapient. And thirdly, my academic background at the University of Pennsylvania. So first, currently at JP Morgan, I've got a very instrumental role working with very senior leadership in the Chief Risk Office within asset management. I've done internal projects and driven delivery across 150 different committees and rationalizing how they are structured and how they escalate issues. And then I've also faced off with our external regulators, and then it was the face of JP Morgan to those regulators as we were going through an OCC exam. So at Sapient, I started off as a business analyst and drove into leading individual business analysis tracks, led larger programs, did project management across multiple tracks, coached teams, and then finally developed client relationships to sell additional work and own the P&L with multiple clients across the Sapient account. This was all supported with my computer science and engineering plus finance background from coursework that I did at the University of Pennsylvania and the Wharton School of Business. So in summary, I successfully moved into a business-facing role at JP Morgan with a technical consulting and development background at Sapient Global Markets and the University of Pennsylvania, respectively. So I believe you will want to hire me, and that I will make you and your team and your organization more productive.
All right, nice job. What do you think?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
I thought it was corny, but I wrote it down, so I wanted to follow my script.
Yeah.
And Judah sort of overly exaggerated.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to practice that because I mean, you want to come across as confident and selling yourself.
Yeah.
So to even kind of go overboard, right, with in a safe environment, I think is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So that when you're in the real setting, you're not seen as more passive or kind of reactive.
Yeah.
I think you had a long introduction as well.
Okay.
I noticed it because that's something I was speaking now, now that I did it, but
okay.
I think you took a long time to introduce yourself and then come to the topic and then
Right.
reintroduced it and then you started introducing the three topics.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know what
2:20
was the total time. But
So
yeah.
so almost a minute, 50 seconds over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a part of it was there.
Yeah.
I think what I agree with you, and I think what I thought was you had it with your subject. Here's what I want to do.
Right.
Right.
So I'd like to talk about three things.
Right.
What I've done here, what I've done before,
Right.
engineering, the whole thing. So I think
cut out some of the generic language.
yeah. Now that being said, I find it interesting in this industry because the way that hits me is, as an analytical, it's a bit presumptuous to say that I'm going to enjoy working with you if I don't know you yet.
Yeah.
So then there's that, but at the same time, I also hear a lot of things in this business where people will say, kind of do you think it's a good idea or is it a good idea? Speak with conviction kind of thing. So I think it kind of depends on your audience.
Sure.
And I think it's a hard thing. So be aware you could kind of use that as a thing. If you have someone who's an amiable analytical, they're going to think, why are you going there? I haven't made that judgment yet. Yet if you have a driver, they might think I appreciate his confidence.
Sure.
I still might phrase it, depending on driver or expressive as a bit more driver. I'm confident that this would be, based on what I know now, I'm confident this would be a good fit. And I think I'd benefit your team.
Yes. Yep.
So something like that. But I think you keyed in on that. Then structurally, it flowed from there.
Okay.
I was still looking for the what do you like about it, and
Yes.
and that's kind of the I want to know what you like about it because I want to know. And again, I'm biased with this. What is compelling for you to see if that's a fit with our team
Okay.
would be my thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm talking too much.
Makes sense. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't think it was corny.
no.
I didn't think that. I think you tried to tie in some of the feedback that we gave to you before about value add.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And that you tried to wrap up with that so
Yeah.
that you left us with that you were able to, translate a technology background into a business role at JP Morgan. I much preferred it to this moment.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I would say if I were to net it out, I'm trying to figure out how to articulate it. I think demeanor-wise, and I keep going back to something like this, I think the biggest potential risk is I think you present in a way that you have a lot of energy
Mm-hmm.
and you're smart and you're enthusiastic about those things. Depending on who your audience is, where I think it might benefit you would be to present in a way that could be perceived as a little more even-tempered, quiet confidence rather than overly enthusiastic. I think you're absolutely genuine in how you do it. You need to stay true to that. Yet at the same time, and I'm thinking things like your voice tone and how and I mentioned that this morning.
Right.
Genuine enthusiasm, the pace of your speech. And I think just try and communicate similarly to the person that you're interviewing with.
Sure.
So if
Yeah.
they're a quiet kind of thing, that'd be, go
Yeah.
move in that direction. Do you know what I mean?
I do. And so, also going back to some of the points earlier, the intonation, did my voice,
Not
I
as
wasn't,
much.
I wasn't even thinking about that as I was presenting, but
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys heard that.
I didn't hear it as much in terms of variation
Yeah.
going up, and it may be because you were focused on the structure of it.
Right.
But I didn't, you can listen
Yeah.
for it.
I think he has a youthful eagerness to him
Yeah.
that could sometimes be misread as just talking the talk.
Right.
And so I think that I don't mean to, I
No,
don't mean to
no,
be mean.
it's
I'm not
not-
trying to be
no,
mean.
no.
But,
No.
that's a good point.
No, it's
It's
constructive.
a good point, actually.
But and so I think so backing that up perhaps with something a little bit more sound or robust, I think
Right.
would help sort of fill in that perception that it's just youthful eagerness, which is where the quiet confidence
Yeah.
piece comes in.
Good.
And I'm glad you said that, and I agree. And I hear that at all different levels. So I'll work with partners at firms who will say, I'm a partner at the firm, I'm late 40s. I'm not the 65-year-old gray-haired CEO. That's who I'm meeting with. That's who my client is. So how do I get them to perceive me as not being, because they're a partner at the firm.
Yeah.
Just like their 65-year-old colleague at the firm.
Yeah.
But they say they see me as different.
Yes.
So what you're trying to do is reduce differences.
Right.
And it's the same thing, because a lot of them would slip into, I'm glad you didn't do this, that they'll have the CEO saying, so tell me about, what you know about us and what value you think you can add. And they go into presentation mode.
Right.
And what we always recommend is, not that you put your feet up on the table with them, but I'm really glad you had me in today, and I think there is some value we can add, and here's what I'd like to do. So I was glad you did that. So I think for me it was a little bit more voice tone, expression, enthusiasm. So just gear it toward your audience.
Right.
I think it was well said. I think it was constructive. Yeah,
Okay. Thanks.
good deal. All right.